What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Rye, aka Invictus. Welcome to the YouTube channel where we cover everything live because I can't do editing and mute. We're live. What's going on? It is currently 2:30 in the morning. Why am I live at this time? Well, I believe it's like 5:30 p.m. Middlesbrough time. That's the perfect time to get in touch with all you beautiful Borough fans as you finish work and school and your long days. It's beautiful Rob time. Handsome Rob is in the building and I wanted to talk about it. It's hot on the lips. I don't know why I just did that, but we got to talk about it. I've got to react. I want to watch his interviews. I want to see what he's had to say. He's just dropped literally like 20 minutes ago a message to all the Borough faithful as well. So I want to watch that. And then I just want to talk about it. For those that are here live, I thank you so much for being here live. People like Lungful, Theme Park, Traveling Towers. Mwah! I love you all. If you're watching this back, please consider liking and subscribing. It does help the channel. All right, and we get more Middlesbrough fans in, all right, and we push all the others that aren't Middlesbrough fans out. Do you get what I'm saying? Get out. Do you like the news feed? Look how professional I am. It's like I'm Rye Sports. Professionalism. Hope you're all fantastic, safe and well. Happy Tuesday to you. It's been quiet, but now it is loud. Rob Edwards is in the building. This morning, Middlesbrough came back with a with a cheeky tweet. Did my beautiful club? They came in this morning and said, found the password. The cheeky monkeys found the login. Sorry, have we missed anything? With little smirky face. It was very interesting to see Middlesbrough, who have been quiet for like 4 days straight on social media, hadn't said anything to anyone, and I thought it was very interesting indeed, just to see them be like that. I just thought, yeah, it was funny. I just thought it was funny. They then come on and announce pretty much like 20 minutes later that Rob Edwards is going to be our new boss. The very first thing Rob Edwards had to say to the Borough faithful was this: "It's a real privilege to be given the opportunity to be head coach of this great football club." Get it in your veins. It's something that it's not lost on me how big this is, how important this is, and what that means to the people. It felt instantly like this was right for me, and it got me excited. I can't wait to get started. Look at him. Even shaved for us. Man. Rob Edwards is our new boss. Not only were we announced Rob Edwards, by the way, we also announced his new backroom staff. As you can see up above me, Harry Watling and Adi Vivesh will be joining Rob in the backroom team. On Rob's right, or your left as you're looking at it, is Adi Vivesh. On his left, or your right, is Harry Watling. They are his two advisors. No word on Grant Leadbitter or anything like that. That also helped with Michael Carrick. You'd think they'd still be involved on the bench in some way, but these are the three men that are now leading this beautiful club. Also, take a note of the new Castor training kits. I don't know why their arms are invisible. See what I did there? Because of the camouflage. Little joke for those that are playing at home and the camouflage lovers. I like that new training kit, by the way. Grey though. Grey. Cheeky. Then Rob sat down and he gave his very first interview to Middlesbrough Football Club. He was absolutely charismatic. He spoke and said all the right things that I wanted to hear, especially. We're going to watch that interview. We're going to go over it. I want to discuss it with you guys. And then we're going to probably watch it first together. And then after that, we will we'll sort of break it down, what he had to say and stuff like that. Then after that, we've also got a message from Rob Edwards directly. This was just uploaded to, I'm going to play it now because it's so good. It's so good. Right. This is Rob Edwards' message to the fan from our very first interaction with him, from him directly to the fans. Wait, you can't hear it. Wait! You can't hear it! Hold! I told the most important people at this football club. You can hear it now, right? You can hear it now. I'm so professional.
Hi guys, Rob here. It's just a message that I want to make sure I get across to you supporters who are the most important people at this football club.
The most important people!
How privileged I am and how proud I am to be representing your club, to be the head coach. And I, along with all the staff and the players, will do everything we can to make you proud. I'm really looking forward to seeing you. Let's get the Riverside rocking this season. Let's get some really exciting football going and let's have a really good, enjoyable time. Please back the boys. Make sure they're giving absolutely everything for you. Thanks again and looking forward to seeing you soon.
Oh my God! Does he not just sound like sex on a muffin that is freshly baked in the morning bakery in the front window with butter? Oh my God. Once again.
Hi guys, Rob here.
Oh.
It's just a message that I want to make sure I get across to you.
He wants to make it. Oh.
Supporters who are the most important people at this football club. How privileged I am and how proud I am to be representing your club, to be the head coach.
Oh.
And I, along with all the staff and the players, will do everything we can to make you proud. I'm really looking forward to seeing you. Let's get the Riverside rocking this season. Let's get some really exciting football going and let's have a really good, enjoyable time. Please back the boys. Make sure they're giving absolutely everything for you. Thanks again and looking forward to seeing you soon.
Oh my God, Robbie Edwards, his first little comments to the Middlesbrough faithful is absolutely legendary, right? So after we got the announcement that Rob Edwards was our coach and the backroom staff, we then went live to YouTube to see Rob Edwards' first interview as our new gaffer. He sat down with the staff at Middlesbrough FC and announced that he is, that he's thing. I spilled all that drink down the front of me. Microphones are waterproof, right? Yeah, they are. They are? Cool. All right. It's so good to see that we finally got a coach. And I want to talk about, obviously, the two backroom staff announcements as well. But Rob Edwards, right? Rob Edwards. He's the man. Now, we knew this was going to happen pretty much. Now, one thing I do want to clear up. Actually, I do want to talk about this quickly. To those that are listening out there in the big, beautiful YouTube world. On one stream that I've actually removed now because I don't want to be a jerk, but I need to redo it because it was from the beautiful Simon Walker, who sent me some absolute gifts. On that stream, at that time, I was misled that Danny Rowe was the #1 target. At that time, I believe I was led to believe that he was going to be the man in charge. That's why I was doing the pictures and the leaks and all that sort of stuff. So I do apologize from the bottom of my heart because literally the next day I got a message saying not paying exit fee sort of thing. So that was it. That was the end of that. So I do apologize for misleading you. If you felt misled or it was rude of me and I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have jumped to conclusions, and I've learnt my lesson on that, on this YouTube media space, that, you know, whatever I get told, I just keep to myself because I can't do that. You know, I won't keep it. I'll keep it to myself from now on. All right. No, I won't. If you're part of my Discord, I won't tell you stuff that do you get what? Sorry, something in my eye. Something in my eye. My eyes are a bit itchy. I won't. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay. So I won't. All right, cool. Right. So what I want to do is now sit down and I want to watch Rob Edwards' first live interview with the club after being announced today. Here is the beautiful Rob Edwards on his arrival to Middlesbrough Football Club.
Rob, a very warm welcome. Can you talk us through how excited you are to be here and how proud a moment this is
for you? Look at him.
Thank you. It's a real privilege.
Has he got...
It's a real proud moment for me.
One thing quickly. He's got a little bit of shaver rash here. Did you see this? He's got a little bit of redness on the neck. He needs to put that aftershave on. Or bring it back. Bring back the beard, right? Bring back the beard. Please no singing. It was good, right? It was good. Stephen, good to see you. Mickey, have I not said hello to you, beautiful YouTube owners? Hello, Lungful Theme Park. Hell's my beautiful mod. I see you. When we play, we'll call him Rob. When we play Rubbish, he gets the full name. So he's Handsome Rob to me at the moment, 24/7, because I'm in love with him. When we suck, then I'm... then I'm Rob. What's his middle name? Do we know his middle name? I'll even middle name him when we start to suck. Rob Edwards. Bet you it's something like Joseph. It's Owen. Robert Owen Edwards. I'll full name him. Here is Robert Owen Edwards, the new gaffer of Middlesbrough Football Club.
Real privilege. It's a real proud moment for me and my family, and to be given the opportunity to be the head coach at this brilliant football club. It's something that, it's not lost on me how big a thing this is, how important it is,
We are massive.
what this club means to people. I can't wait to get started now.
I'm sure there were a lot of conversations before you took the role. Can you give us a bit of an insight into those and why
Nice
this
watch.
club was the right fit for you?
From afar, I've always admired this club anyway, and obviously I think, you know, a few years back when we went to Luton and obviously coming up against you, I just admired the team and how you played, and going back further as well, even playing against this football club and the support, the size of the club. So there's always been a real respect and admiration
Middlesbrough have got the biggest girth.
from the club, for the club from afar. But then I think, you know, recently, as soon as I knew there might be a little bit of, there's an interest here, it just felt instantly like, okay, this is the right thing for me. It got me excited again. Coming out of Luton, I needed some time, but I knew if I was going to go back in, I wanted to come back in at a place where, you know, we had a chance.
His teeth are perfect, by the way. Perfect.
I feel we've got a really good chance here. We've got a brilliant owner who is obviously a supporter of the club, but backs his football club. Historically gives the head coaches time, support, and the tools needed to
Gone by Christmas.
try and be successful. Brilliant
kidding.
people that I'll be working with around the football club that I'll get to know, and I'm looking forward to getting to know as well. An amazing fan base.
In terms of the playing squad as well, I'm sure you've done a lot of research and you already knew a lot of them anyway. Can you just give us an insight into what you feel about the squad as it stands?
Yeah, well, there's obvious talent here, and again, that's something that's really exciting because
And they
there's lots of
show
good things. There is lots of good things that happen. You can see it in the games. It's still big on creating chances and can control games. So I think with what we want to try and bring.
Is that it? I think that's all they show.
There's some quick wins. There's some things we can get going really, really quick, and continue some of the really good stuff that's going on as well. There's a lot of talent. That's obvious. That's always been the way at this football club, and we want to keep that going. We want to be attractive. We want to be great to watch.
We want to be attractive.
We want some steel with that substance.
That right there. That's what I wanted. That's all we ask.
Some steel with that substance.
Oh,
You know, we want some fight and some intensity, and keep a lot of the really good football and the creating chances and those things going as well. But there's some really exciting players that I'm really looking forward to working with.
Of course, you joined us during the transfer window as well, so I'm sure you've got your ideas on how you want to shape the squad moving forward as well.
Of course, and you know, us being part of the team, obviously led by Kieran really, and obviously Neil and Steve as well within all that. There'll be opportunities to try and make some changes and improve. You always want to do that in every single window. So I don't think that will be different to any other football club at all. But of course, then it'd be great to be able to bring in players that we feel are Middlesbrough players, so suit what we want to try and do, but can help improve us as well. And that's the exciting thing. There's some real clarity on how that works as well in terms of the recruitment and the people that we're going to be working with. Got brilliant people on that side as well that are going to help us. So that's another reason why it's a really good fit.
You mentioned earlier you've had a few months out of the game. How energised are you feeling? How much do you feel you needed that little bit of a break?
Yeah, I did need it. It was quite draining towards the end, and I needed that bit of time to
quite draining towards the end. Quite draining towards the end. Maybe he's talking about Carrick ball.
re-energise, refocus, get some family time. They go through it as well, and then really begin to reflect, speak to people, met new people.
Stephen, you are crazy.
Watch some games, the usual things, and then just really excited and raring to go now. You need the energy in this game.
I keep getting lost in his teeth.
Best. You need that, and topped it right back up again now.
I'm sure it gave you a lot of time to reflect as well on the kind of 18 months or so that you had at Luton. When you look back at that, you must look back with a lot of pride in terms of what you achieved there.
Yeah, it was incredible. I think the to be honest, 3.5 years or so that I've had in doing this role now, it was, we were lucky enough to win the League Two title, and then, the what happened then at Luton was incredible, and to get promoted via the playoffs was amazing, and something that I'll never forget. And we created memories there for life, and a really exciting year in the Premier League as well, where we know how difficult it is. We've seen the last 6 teams that have come up.
Guess who he beat to get Luton to the Premier League, by the way? Uh-huh. Yep. Uh-huh. Yep.
I've all gone back down. We gave it a good go, and
those damn Frenchmen up the road.
Sort of a fraction of the cost a lot of other ones did. So we're
And
really
Coventry.
proud of how we did things there, and what we did and what we achieved. And again, bringing it back to the here and the now, that's what's really exciting about this place, because I feel we'll have a lot of support and a lot of the tools around us to go and achieve some really, really special things.
I'm sure
Achieve special things. This man, by the way, this man in the Premier League, right? This man in the Premier League beat Newcastle with Luton Town. With Luton Town, he beat Newcastle United. Then, also in the playoffs, he knocked out Sunderland, right? Then he also beat Coventry. Those 3 teams are our, you know what I mean? He's beaten Newcastle, he's robbed the Mackhams, and we've got insider trading on how to beat Coventry. We are going undefeated. Those were the 3 teams. He's beaten all of them.
you were challenging in a lot of ways on and off the pitch that you maybe wouldn't have been expected to. That won't be in coaching manuals, I guess, as well. For example, the Tom Lockyer situation. Can you just talk through how much you learned during that period as a head coach?
Yeah, you're right, Dan. I mean, that was probably the most difficult period, and it started off probably a 13-month period or so that was difficult. Then it was really, really challenging. But no coaching course or anything can get you prepared for something like that and facing something like that. And obviously then you're in the Goldfish Bowl of the Premier League, so all eyes are on you as well, and making sure that we're dealing with things in the right way. First of all, supporting Tom and his family. And look, the medical people and everyone, the experts there were amazing, and that was the sole focus at the time. But yeah, there was that was a really challenging period, because look, football's important, so I'm not shying away from that. It means a lot to a hell of a lot of people. I know that.
They sacked their coach.
But there's some things that are even more important than football and family and health are that. And yeah, that was a challenging period of time. But you know, the great thing is now he's healthy, and he's he's there. He's got his family. He's got his little girl now.
Not wrong, Borough fan.
His partner was 7 months pregnant at the time. It was a really, really tough time for everybody and all concerned. So nothing can prepare you for stuff like that. Nothing can prepare you for half time, in extra time, in a playoff final, when you've got 3 players saying they're done and you've got 2 subs left. You know, there's things like this. There's been a roller coaster, and obviously, you know, that day Tom went off early in that game as well. So even when there's been real high moments, there's still challenges and things that sort of test you along the way. But yeah, it does. Management throws things at you, and then that's why you have good people around you as well to help with that, hopefully make really good decisions, and then yeah, good things can happen off the back of that. But it was a heck of a ride. I'm ready for another one now.
And of course, you've got 2 promotions on your CV in the EF.
He wants to ride us!
But a lot of your time before that was spent in youth football as well, with England and Wolves. Is that a big part of your management as well, to bring through young players and the chance to develop those young players?
Yeah, of course. I think that's important for any football club. I know the history that we've got. We're just down in the corridor now looking at a lot of these players that have come through this club. There's a real rich history of players that have come through and gone on to have amazing careers, played for the first team and had amazing careers. And I'm no different. I was a young player once. It's a long time ago now, unfortunately, but someone gave me an opportunity. It was Graham Taylor that gave me my debut at Aston Villa. I'll forever be grateful for that. And you need to be given the opportunity, and you've got to be good enough, and you've got to be able to take it then. But there's one thing that we can guarantee: there'll be opportunity for the young players here.
Did you know he debuted for Aston Villa when he was 20 years old? Guess who he versed in his very first game on debut? Borough.
You know, we had a couple of lads that had played a number of games in the Premier League and in the Championship last season for us with Luton, and so you can see historically that we've encouraged that and wanted to do it. I think it's really important. There's nothing like being able to bring through and celebrate one of your own. So yeah, the chance is there for the lads, and then go and seize the opportunity, go and take it. In the end, we can only do then so much, and then it's going to be down to boys.
With pre-season just around the corner as well, is that a big opportunity for some of those young players?
Pre-season
to sort of show you what they're on?
Testing for the boys starts this Thursday. They're back at the club this Thursday. Main training obviously starting next Monday.
About
It always is. Yeah, it always is. You know, you train with bigger numbers. Obviously, the games early on, there's lots of substitutions because you're trying to build players up to the level of fitness that you need. So there'll be opportunity for the lads there. It'll be great for us to work with them close at hand and see them as well. I know there's a couple of good ones, and there's one or two that people have spoken about, we've spoken about already, that have been knocking on the door. Yeah, so pre-season will be an ideal chance for them to stake the claim.
And what is pre-season going to look like from your perspective? What are you going to be looking for from the players?
Well, yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing them first and day one, and almost be able to set the scene. They've got a couple of days of testing on a Thursday and Friday, and then I think the Monday it'll be a sit down, and we'll just sort of sow the seed. This is what they're going to get from us, first of all, and then a little bit on how I want us to be able to go then and set the vision, building on a lot of the good stuff that we do. The way I want to play, we want to play with intensity. This is non-negotiable. We want to win the ball back double quick. We want to be controlling the game as far away from our goal as possible. I want shots, I want goals, I want chances, crosses, action. That's what I want. So building on a lot of the good stuff. I know we can control a game. We want to be able to control it as far away from our goal as possible.
No, Mickey.
As soon as we lose it, let's win it back quick. So that's a little bit of a, you know, we want to be aggressive. We want to be exciting. We want to take risks. We want to be brave. And we want to get that crowd on side and making a hell of a lot of noise for us.
That's us.
And reward them with good performances.
G'day, Daniel. I'm good, brother.
And exciting football. So that'll be sowing the seeds of that, and then hopefully then going out and training it and making it look like how we want it on a match day.
Amen.
To achieve everything that you want to achieve, what you're just talking about there, how important is unity going to be across the board from everyone within the club, everyone outside the club as well in terms of the fan base?
The fans are the most important people at any football club, because they're there before us and they'll be there long after us as well. So
how many times have we said that, and he just nailed it on the head? We are here before he came along, and we'll be here after he goes. And he says that the very first thing when he's addressing the Borough faithful is that. How many times have we said that? We were here before Carrick. We're going to be here after Michael Carrick, and he hits that right then and there.
And I've always said that. I've always maintained that. So
I'll talk about the plan B soon.
But
he addressed it, Liam.
We get that. We earn that with performances and results. So I'm under no illusions as to that. I've been lucky in the clubs that I've been at previously, at Forest Green, and then obviously Luton again. Then we started that quite quickly and got people on side, fast. So it's all well and good talking a good game.
Funny how he doesn't talk about Watford, by the way. Did you hear about that? Did you see that? He just goes from Forest Green to Luton. See how he goes, see how he goes. He's like, Watford, we just skip that part. Do you know what I mean? Let's not talk about the Watford part.
Game, we've got to be able to go and deliver that. And there'll be expectancy here, and I'm up for that. You
mentioned the Riverside. You've had a few experiences in the past. How do you reflect on your time at that?
An amazing place to play, and a really difficult place to come and coach against. When these fans are at it. I've felt that whenever I've come up to the North East, to be honest. I feel there's a real knowledge in the fan base. They know what they're talking about. They know what they're looking at, and
we know what we're talking about. See?
God, they can make some noise. I mean, the best I've ever seen was the playoff semi-final came up. Obviously, we just played the night before, so came up to that. And I know it was a disappointment in the end. But
yeah, theme park, we don't talk about that now.
I remember looking around thinking, wow, this is special. That was special. We want to try and create some more moments like that.
No one can be like...
Burnsy, Rob Edwards was appointed manager today. Out of the blue. Completely and out of the blue, dude. Out of the blue. Not a single sign that Rob Edwards was coming.
How excited are you now to get to work on
Thursday? Talk about it now starts giving me some chills and gets me really gets the juices flowing, because you just sort of want. I've had a while out, and you just want to be able to.
Hey, Rob, don't make
to get started, and just really, really excited. Really excited, and again, I'm really thankful for this opportunity. And I know how a bigger football club this is. I know what it means to the people this way, and we want to try and deliver for them.
And just finally, you've spoken quite a lot about the fans, but if you had to have one overriding message to them when you first starting this relationship with them, what would you say?
This was the perfect opportunity right there to say, wake the neighbours. Right there and then, he just said, wake the neighbours.
Support the boys. Get behind the lads. You know, they will, I promise that they'll give everything, so it's going to be, you know, a lot
He promises that he'll get the boys to give everything.
of our work will be on hard work. Good body language, winning the ball back really quickly, winning duels, you know, basics of football. But then hopefully then off the back of that, playing some really attacking, exciting football as well. But back the lads. They're human beings. They'll make mistakes at times. But if you see good reactions, hopefully they see good reactions off the back of that. They'll reward those tackles and those reactions just as much as they would do a great bit of skill and a goal. Back the lads. And I know they do. I know they understand that, and I know they'll be forgiving if there's the odd mistake here and there.
Oh.
But keep believing and keep backing the boys.
Will be forgiving. He hasn't met us. Has he not seen social media in the lead up to his announcement? Oh my God. Oh, will we be forgiving? Listen, I'm excited. I think he said all the right things, everything that I wanted to hear from a new gaffer. The biggest thing for me, I said at the end of Michael Carrick's tenure, was we lacked fight. We lacked spirit and we lacked a plan B. I know you're talking, guys, in the live audience on YouTube, and I'll address that. I know that if you're watching this back, you won't be able to see the chat, but I'm going to answer some questions of the live audience here because I have got some answers to a couple of them. The big thing was lack of fight, lack of passion. We saw that in the non-must-win games that he didn't think were must-win games. Do you know what I mean? Like, but he is just honest and he talks with his heart. One thing that Rob Edwards has always been credited on is his man management. Apparently, he is the best man manager, hands down. He knows exactly how to get the best out of a person, out of a footballer. And I believe it's fair. I believe I can see that. Do you know what I mean? I believe that. Now, even in the short tenure of him talking, but I've listened to podcasts. I've listened to, you know, what's happened in his managerial career and stuff like that. And he's more experienced. He's more experienced than Michael Carrick was. Michael Carrick had 3 games at Man United. Do you get what I'm saying? We've now got a gaffer that took Luton Town from this league to the Premier League and back down again, right? Yes, they went back down and they had a shocking return back down in the Championship. Obviously, they were relegated last season. He got sacked, and Matt Bloomfield now is the coach of Luton Town. But the right essence is still there. Now, we don't know what happened behind the scenes with Luton Town, what his financial, back. We don't care. Do you know what I mean? What we do care about now is day one Middlesbrough going forward. Now, I know a lot of you have been speaking about, does he have a plan B? I'll talk to you about this just quickly. And this was from Steve Gibson. Right, this was Steve Gibson who announced, obviously, that he was. This is directly from what Steve Gibson was impressed by the most when Rob Edwards interviewed. Now, apparently, we had a lot of people interested in coming borough manager who wouldn't want to take care of this beautiful club. Right, a lot of interest, a lot of applications. Now, Rob stood out obviously because he's got a connection with Kieran Scott. Right, they've worked together previously at Wolves. But the big thing was Rob Edwards stood out, to Steve Gibson mostly because of his tactical discipline, right, and impressed by his extensive knowledge of Borough's squad. He also presented broad tactical blueprints on where he went wrong in his time at Luton and how he sees that he thinks he has learnt from that as a coach. Is that not addressing plan B right there? He has broad tactical blueprints of what he can do and where he went wrong. Do you know what I mean? His commitment to youth development and candor regarding his final few months at Luton. So he was candid. He was very open and honest about how bad things were at Luton Town towards the end of his tenure. Now, the big thing as well, right? They come out Thursday, Toby. The big thing as well with Rob Edwards is obviously at Luton Town, he had that Tom Lockyer stuff as well. For those that don't know, Tom Lockyer had he went into cardiac arrest twice, I believe. One on the playoff final day. I'm not sure when I think the second one was in the Premier League, but he has been through a lot in a short managerial space, but he has been promoted twice. Forest Green Rovers, when they gave him a chance, got them promoted. Luton Town, when he came in, got them promoted as well. Yes, I know he was probably on the back of good work from Nathan Jones, who was the previous manager at Luton Town, but he still had to get them across the line. He still needed to get them past Sunderland and Coventry to get them back into the Premier League. And they were just shy of keeping him in. They were keeping themselves in the Premier League. Has he learnt from his mistakes? Well, he said that he has. He says that he's open and honest with where he went wrong at Luton Town, and that was his downfall. Now, also, obviously, you can look at the backings and all that sort of stuff. Now, one thing that we discredited, I should say, Michael Craddock for was his lack of a plan B, his lack of experience to change the game when we were falling apart. We lost from 21 times last season from winning positions, right? So teams were overrunning us in the end, right? So we look at how much tactical awareness Michael Carrick had to overcome or stop that happening. It didn't happen. We got overrun. We lost 21 times in one season from winning positions. If we had won those 21 games, you know what I mean? So what we can see here, right, is Rob's ability to have a broad tactical knowledge and also of the Borough squad on where he thinks we went wrong from those winning positions and how he's going to change that. And he said straight in his interview, it's by adding steel. It's adding steel and resilient characters to the Borough squad. Now, he obviously plays a few different formations. I think he's most famous for a 3-5-2. I could be wrong on that one, though, but it's going to be interesting now where he goes and where Kieran Scott, and he already said this in the interview as well, that they've drawn up the targets. They know exactly where they're going to be targeting, what they're going to be targeting in the transfer window as well. And the best thing is he's good friends with Kieran Scott. So you're not going to see what we had with Michael Carrick, where they fell out in January because one of them wants Iheanacho and the other one doesn't. Do you know what I mean? And then you've got Ryan Giles taking up the last loan spot, and one of them saying that's a good option and the other one saying it's not. Now, we know for a fact that January transfer window, right, that Iheanacho and Ryan Giles were pushed and signed by Michael Carrick. Now, not to say, right, that it's all on Michael Carrick. That would be unfair. Michael Carrick was given the last say. So he's presented with the sheet of names and said, these are the targets we can get you. You know what I mean? We'll give you the squad that you want, Michael. Do you know what I mean? And he said, give me Iheanacho, give me Ryan Giles. And they said, that's not what we were hoping you'd select, but here we go. Do you know what I mean? So like that's how it went down. That's how it went down. Now, for those getting to know as well, Rob Edwards, here's a few facts straight from the Middlesbrough website. Rob was born on Christmas Day. He is Jesus. He's the Messiah. He is sent by God to save our club. He's born on Christmas Day. Also, my question, does he get birthday and Christmas presents at the same time? How does that work? Do you know what I mean? Do you get double the presents? Like, that's my main question when you're born on Christmas Day. Do you get birthday and Christmas presents, or do you get less than someone would that's got a separate birthday to Christmas Day? Do you get what I'm saying? I feel like if you had your birthday on Christmas Day, you get ripped off. I feel like your parents were just molded into one. Do you know what I mean? I feel like Rob Edwards is been hard done by in the present department all his life. All his life. I'm a straight guy, but he gets us promoted. I'll be, 100%. 100% Burnsy. He's a very good looking man. Very, very good looking. I got lost in his teeth. He worked his way through the ranks at Aston Villa, initially starting as apprentice. His senior debut was, ironically, against Borough 3 days after he turned 20. There you go. Defender made 9 appearances for Villa, also spending time on loan with Crystal Palace, Derby County, and before making a permanent move to Wolverhampton Wanderers in July of 2004. As his parents are both Welsh, Rob qualified to play for Wales national team. He made his debut in March 2003 and went on to win 15 caps. Rob established himself as a regular at the Molineux, although 2 serious injuries hampered his progress. I moved to Blackpool in the August of 2008, saw his leadership credentials flourish. He captained the side within the first month of the club and went on to be named team captain. That's when I saw Blackpool live flogging us at the Riverside. Yep, that was Rob. That was Rob Edwards' era. Rob was part of the Blackpool team that earned promotion to the Premier League in the 2009-10 season, and he went on to represent the Teneries twice in the top flight. He completed his playing days with loan stints at Norwich City, Fleetwood Town and Shrewsbury Town, and a stay at Barnsley. After retiring from playing in October of 2013, Rob moved into coaching to become the under-18s coach at Wolves. By the summer of 2015, he'd already been promoted to the first team coach and later took charge of 2 games as interim head coach. Rob took his first permanent managerial role with hometown side AFC Telford United before returning to Wolves a year later to become the head coach of their under-23s. He led them to promotion at the highest level of the youth football for the first time in their history in the first season. That earned him a move to the Football Association setup, where he spent time working with the England under-20s before being appointed the under-16s head coach. He's a noted developer of young players. Bang! Rob's return to club management came with Forest Green at Rovers in May of 2021. I can see the Riverside turning it into a pride parade with Rob in charge. The Cleavers will have their work cut out on match day. A lot of mopping incoming. Rob the Messiah Edwards here. Let's get behind him. Burrow loves your videos, right? Love you, Borough Steel Army. Giles done well. We expected how my his style was different. Agreed. He won 3 Manager of the Month awards and Manager of the Season prizes. He led Forest Green to the League 2 title and with it, promotion to the 3rd tier for the first time. His energetic style of football earned particular praise, with Forest Green averaging over 52% possession and keeping 19 clean sheets. He departed for a short stint with Watford in the summer of 2022, but he was quickly back in management with Luton Town, where he was appointed in November of 2022. Another historic achievement was added to Rob's CV as he guided the Hatters to a promotion in the Premier League, beating Coventry City in the Championship playoff final. Luton were praised for their endeavour as they battled to retain the place in the top flight. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp praised the insane job Rob was doing, but they would finish 18th and 6 points from safety. Rob departed Luton Town by mutual consent in January 25 and has been preparing for his return to management in the months since. He will meet his new charges for the first time when preseason testings begins this week. So that's a little fact sheet, right? That's a little fact sheet of our main man, Rob Edwards, right? So that's Rob. That's Rob. You've seen him. He's beautiful. His teeth are perfect. They're pearly white. Do you know what I mean? So he's got a lot going on for him. He's got a lot going for him. Not only in the looks department, but he's also got the experience, right, from Forest Green and Luton Town, and he's managed at championship level. Michael Carrick had never done that. Do you know what I mean? Michael Carrick had never done championship battles, right? Luton, he's done it. And that I like as well. Now, not only did Rob Edwards come in today, we also got 2 other coaches, or his left and right hand man. Now, the big one that everyone's talking about is this man, Adi Vivesh, right? Now, people that are talking about, we're talking about Rob Edwards as a very, very good looking man. Well, Addy is no different. Look at this guy. He is a silver fox. Do you know what I mean? Like, we have got a very, very good-looking coaching department now. Do you know what I mean? Addy, you could just tell back in his day, do you know what I mean? Right? That back in his day, do you know what I mean? Like, ooh. You know what I mean? Just so. Anyway, Adi Vivesh is a big incoming, and here's why. Adi Vivesh has joined Harry Watling in being named vital part of Rob Edwards' backroom staff. Now, Adi, for those that don't know, was the number 2 to Mark Robbins at Coventry for the 7 odd years that he was boss of Coventry. So he was alongside Mark Robbins as he led Mark Robbins led Sky Blues to 2 promotions in three seasons, right? So he was the right hand man. Now, the talk of the town from Coventry, if you go and look at Coventry social media, a previous podcast as well where Addy was invited on there as a guest, a lot of Coventry's promotional credit is given to Addy. Right, and to what he was able to do, not only as a coach, but as a recruiter from his time in Chelsea as well. All right. So these are some of his final stats. He was born in September 1969. Addy began his football journey with hometown club at Swindon Town, progressing through the academy into the senior side. He's represented Swindon more than 50 games before departing permanently in 1995 for Walsall. This is making everyone feel very old. Addy made more than 200 appearances, so he's a good football player, right? Let's get to, like, he's obviously got a distinguished footballing career, right? This is where we start to see him as a coach, and this is what's going to really tick some boxes for a lot of the Borough faithful, okay? He resigned from, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, to join Chelsea's academy as coach. Addy spent time as assistant academy and assistant reserve team coach before being named under-18s manager in the July of 2011. He was promoted to development squad manager in 2014, which saw him lead Chelsea's under-21s. During his time at Chelsea, he had among the players Addy had a key hand in developing were Mark Guehi, right, Conor Gallagher, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Mason Mount, and Reece James. His departure from the Blues was confirmed on the May of 2017, but 2 months later he was back in work, having been named assistant manager at Coventry City. He was then a key part of Coventry's rapid progress over a 7-year period. Working alongside Mark Robbins, he led the Sky Blues to two promotions in 3 seasons, an appearance in the Championship playoff final and an FA Cup semi-final. Among the players Addy helped develop at Coventry were Victor you know what I mean? Gus Hammer, right? And Ian Martson. Oh my God. At the time Coventry came in July 2024, almost a year out of the game. He is now ready to make an impact at Borough. So now the biggest thing, the big thing, right? I know all the grannies that are excited for Addy, calm down, please. All right. There's a lot of you in the chat. Calm down, please. A lot of you talking about Rob Edwards, but Addy, my God, what a tasty dish. Do you know what I mean? What a tasty dish. What a tasty dish. So what the big thing for Michael Carrick was, when it all went wrong in games, substitutions, we put that down to a lack of 1, tactical knowledge, and 2, experience, right? In experience in this team is coming back quite hard. We need to stop the rot. Do you know what I mean? In Rob Edwards' direct ear is now going to be an experienced man in Addy Vivesh. Now, a lot of the credit to Coventry's success is put down to Addy. Now, one thing that we must talk about, right? One thing we must talk about with Addy is that we've heard he's a bit of a... He will not let these boys settle. Do you know what I mean? Like, he is a hard nut. Okay, he's a tough operator, is what we've been told. Now, towards the end of the 7-year stint with Coventry at the right-hand side of Mark Robbins, he and Addy Vivesh fell out. They had a big falling out. They weren't talking each other, and they went their separate ways. Obviously, Mark Robbins is now at Stoke City. Addy stayed at Coventry, but then obviously left at once, the Frank Lampard and all that sort of stuff. So he's a hard man. He's a very, very hard man, but he's experienced and he knows what he's talking about when it comes to football. And we need his experience in that dugout, right? When we are Tuesday night at Stoke and Mark Robbins has parked the bus with 10 players, but you know what I mean? Like, we need that experience, right? So that is fantastic. An appointment for Rob Edwards and he's in his ear, right? Now, on his other ear, right, is a young kid called Harry Watling. I say young, he's older than me, all right? But we've got now Harry Watling as well, who is a very, very, right, up-and-coming manager. Very, very renowned in the coaching space, okay? Harry is, trust me, now you will look at his coaching degree and all us football managers and FC25 superstars, like, what have you done? But I'm telling you, this guy, he's wanted. Okay, and we were able to land him. Harry's coaching journey began at the age of just 15. He started coaching when he was 15. Okay, all of you flipping burgers at Nando's, right, at 15, he was coaching. He quickly obtained badges, including the UEFA B license aged 18. He joined Chelsea as a development coach aged 19, and later progressed to work within the club's academy. After 5 years at Chelsea, Harry was with Millwall from 2014 to 2018, coaching the under-15s and under-16s. He spent time in a similar role at West Ham United before becoming the head coach of Hartford Athletic in the United States in 2020. While with the USL Championship club, David Jinks, I saw you in here. I love you. Do you know this? Do you know Hartford? One tier below the MLS, Hartford set records for the most goals, points, and clean sheets in their history. He resigned from his role in 2022 in June to return to England for family reasons. A month later, he was appointed the first team development coach with Queen's Park Rangers, who started the 2022-23 campaign in fine form. The coaching staff included Harry, moved to Rangers in 22, so he was Michael Beale's right-hand man. Now, remember when Michael Beale, right, was... Remember, don't think Michael Beale at Sunderland, right? Because that was a mess. Think Michael Beale at QPR, right? He was the right-hand man to Michael Beale during that whatever crazy voodoo shenanigans happened to make them so good. The coaching staff included Harry, moved to Rangers in 2022, where they remained until October 2023. Harry was appointed manager of the National League club Ebbsfleet United in September 24 and departed by mutual consent later that year. He's now returned to football as part of Rob Edwards' coaching staff. So Adi Vivesh, Harry Watling are left and right of our boy Rob Edwards. Now, I love it. I think the backroom has been critical here. Now, we knew Rob Edwards was kind of confirmed last week, right? For those following it on social media and the right outlets and stuff. We saw reputable journos coming out saying that Rob Edwards' deal was done, right? But what we didn't know was who was going to be with Rob Edwards. Well, now we know that it was Harry Watling and Adi Vivesh. Now, both of them took a bit of while to bring in and sort out the contracts and all that sort of stuff. But in that, we have got the perfect combination. We have got Rob Edwards, the head coach, coming off the back of Forest Green promotion, Luton Town promotion. Okay, you've got a young, hungry coach that wants to learn from his mistakes and is perfect with man management. He knows how to turn a kid into a man. He knows how youth development works. That is his key asset. He loves youth development, right? He knows how to, so he can spot a young baller, you know what I mean, ready to go. And he's going to give them an opportunity. Now, flip that. Adi Vivesh, experienced, hard man. So not only is Rob going to cuddle, Addy's gonna, you know what I mean, if they need it, right? Do you know what I mean? So you've got awesome, good cop, bad cop. Do you know what I mean? Like it's gonna be, and then Harry, who's got a wealth of experience, who started coaching at the age of 15, right, is going to be right there, tactically, you know, getting it, and it just molds into this perfect Parmo. Do you know what I mean? Like with melted cheese. Like it's just perfect for me, and I think it's fantastic. I think it's fantastic, and I think it's going to work, hopefully, a lot better than what Michael Carrick had. Now, Michael Carrick, we saw when he was appointed, he didn't have a back room. He had no idea, right? Then we went and got Aaron Danks and Jonathan Woodgate. We all know how that went. Aaron Danks left and everyone was like, oh my God, once Aaron left, you went and got your brother and that didn't really work out, right? Let's be fair, that didn't really work out, did it? You know what I mean? It didn't. So to say that I'm excited by what Rob can bring to our club, it would be an understatement. I'm very, very excited of what he can do and his development of our lads. Now, what I question towards the end of Carrick's thing was steel. What was just the ability to dig in. Do you know what I mean? Like just to a hard fight. You got to, you know, in the championship, right? It's not all going to be pretty football. It's not. You're going to go to Tuesday night Oxford, right, where it's pissing down, right, and you're kicking balls into the car park. Right? Do you know what I mean? Like they're who are fighting tooth and nail to start in this. We're versing teams like Alex Neil's Millwall. Do you know what I mean? You've got Wrexham, who, you know, have got Deadpool and Wolverine playing for them. Do you know what I mean? Like you have got Birmingham coming up and they're all like, we're Tom Brady. Watch out. We're buying everything. Do you know what I mean? Like this is a tough league to get out of, right? What we need is someone that we can jump on the shoulders of, right? And say, lead us week in, week out, Tuesday night, Monday night, whatever it may be, and get us through those times when we are in winning positions and hold on to that lead. He is telling us that he's going to develop these steel into this team to get us through those patches. And that's all I needed to hear. right? That's all I needed to hear. Now, obviously, there's going to be some recruitment. You would think there's still potential outgoings. Stephen knows the song. Stephen knows the song. Hey, Rob, don't listen. Take a sad team and make it better. How good was that song, by the way? Shouldn't be putting in the car park nudge. He's gone. Oh, exactly. Now, look, I still think we've got some sad times before the kickoff. We kick off first of all. I still think there will be some outgoings, right? Some of them might not buy into Rob Edwards, right? And what he's about. Do you know what I mean? That's, you know, that's all. We're all human. Do you know what I mean? Some may. Do you know what I mean? Some, you know, owe a lot to Middlesbrough and still have a lot to show for Middlesbrough, right? And some will say, look, you know what I mean? I don't really about this. The big question marks now, the coaches are done. We know who our gaffer is. We know who our assistants are, right? Now we take our focus to the playing group. Who's going to be there? Who's not going to be there? The biggest question marks for me, Johnny Howson. Do you know what I mean? Johnny, oh, Boxhead! Coming in with a £5 donation. You didn't even have to do that. Come on, fella, up to Borough. Time for a fresh start and come in with Borough, the new coaching team. Somebody says, Phil, I love you, Boxhead. Thank you so much for the £5 donation. I love you so much. I don't know why I rubbed my chest when he did that. Thank you so much for the £5. Straight to the Rye Riverside Return Fund. What's this breaking news on top of me? Just in, summer in Who changed my scrolling text? What? This was saying Rob Edwards and stuff. Who changed it to summer in England, winter in Australia? Question mark. Rye eats hot curry. Says, I can't handle hot spices. Who's playing with the teleprompter? I swear to God, you're all fine. So look, the big thing for me is now the playing squad. Will Johnny Howson play on again? Question mark. Hayden Hackney. Hayden Hackney is an interesting one for me. Hayden Hackney has dreams and aspirations, obviously, to play for England, right? And I think he can. I really do. He's currently leading the line in the England under-21s, where he's a regular, important member of that squad. Now, can Hayden Hackney leave now, right, go to a Premier League club for the next 12 months to prove his worth to England boss Thomas Tuchel within the space of 12 months to then get into the World Cup squad of 2026. That's your next focus if you're wanting to represent your country. 2026 World Cup in America, right? Or the Americas, I should say. So does Hayden leave now and give himself 12 months of wherever he wants to go and play top level football and say, Thomas, I'm ready? Or does he still feel that the England under-21s and his development, right, can still use a little bit, and then he aims for 2030 sort of thing? You don't know. Do you know what I mean? But I think personally, I don't think in 12 months, right, he can uproot the likes of Bellingham from, because that's arguably what position would have, you know, who's he going to kick out? Declan Rice? Joe Bellingham? Is Hayden Hackney going to kick these types of players out of the England squad in the space of 12 months? I personally don't think so, right? I don't think so. So I hope Hackney gives us another 12 months and sees how we go. Then, right, imagine on the back of Hayden Hackney, right, promotion to the Premier League under Rob Edwards, can that then be his journey into, you know, because then that might get you noticed as well. Do you know what I mean? So it's an interesting one with Hayden Hackney. Johnny Howson, I'm not too sure what's going to happen. We've seen Anthony Dyke still leave as well, so we need a new right back. Then there's the talk of, well, what formation is going to play? Excuse me. What formation is he going to play? If he wants to play the 3-5-2, well, we're not equipped for that. We've got one striker. Do you know what I mean? We've got Tommy Conway. Yes, we've got Marcus Force. Is he a right winger or a striker? Do you know what I mean? Yes, we've got Alex Gilbert. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then there's question marks of, because you would think all of these players now have a fresh slate, right? Sammy Silvera, who went out on loan, didn't do very well. Josh Coburn went to Millwall, did all right, injury Hampton. Do you know what I mean? All these players that we know about, Rob doesn't. So they've all got a fresh slate with him. They've got to come in day one and say, here I am, gaffer, I want to play for this club. If they don't want to play for this club, catch up. Do you know what I mean? So it's going to be an interesting one now for the playing group on where we sit. We've seen that we didn't have the right mix of players towards the end of last season. We also were very underdone in the centre-back department when we had 3 injuries. You know what I mean? Like, we got to cover that. So, and then the big one is Seny Dieng. Do you know what I mean? Like, Seny Dieng. What's happening with Seny Dieng? Or when he's out here liking the fact that Michael Carrick got the sack and all this sort of stuff, is he our number 1 goalkeeper? Is he not? Now, the fans aren't stupid, right? Rob says this, right? Rob said it in his interview that we're not stupid, because we're not. We see it all, right? We know that Seny Dieng potentially, probably, went putting 2 and 2 together, probably had a fallout with Michael Carrick, then went and had surgery, like the post when Michael Carrick was sacked. What does that mean? Seny Dieng, Michael Carrick, butting heads, right? Michael Carrick, is he a nice, calm, generous man? Yes. Do we know that Seny Dieng is a nice, calm, generous man? Do you know what I mean? So you put 2 and 2 together, maybe Seny Dieng is not the nicest guy in the world. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we're not stupid, right? We've all got our own lives. We've all got our own experience. We've all dealt with other people in this life that exactly like they are doing on a day-to-day basis at the Middlesbrough Football Club. So it's interesting to me to see where you move forward now with this group, who's going to be a part of it and who's not going to be a part of it. We've changed the coach. We've said that 10th in the championship wasn't good enough. Do we know that Michael Carrick walked or didn't walk? We don't know. He hasn't even said goodbye. Michael, after everything we went through in the 3 years, didn't even give us a, right? Didn't even give us a, you know what I mean? And, right, to his credit, we all know that at the end of Rob Edwards' tenure at Luton Town, it was a bit messy, right? It wasn't the nicest. They were losing. They were down the bottom. They'd just been relegated from the Premier League. Like, come on. Do you know what I mean? Like, Luton Town were expecting a lot more than what they were given, right? When he was, when he was sacked, this is Rob Edwards, right? Rob Edwards took to social media, right? And said this. It's been a privilege to manage at Luton Town Football Club, but now is the right time for me to move on the club and me. I would like to thank Gary Sweet. Look at this. Did we get this from Carrick? This is literally 3 pages. Michael hasn't said fuck. Do you know what I mean? He goes into effort. Yes, it's been ugly. Do you know what I mean? Look, and look at the responses to it. Look at the responses. Do you know what I mean? Totally gutted. He was never the problem. Right? Thank you, Rob. You're a true gentleman, a charismatic, and an amazing manager. I'm ashamed to see how some fans have turned on you and gutted to see you leave. That's how you do it. Thanking the people who really make the club what it is. Top man. Like, the responses to him leaving Luton Town are all arguably positive. The responses to Michael Carrick leaving Middlesbrough Football Club are all bad. And he hasn't said anything. So, change was needed. Change has been done. He has got a very, very bright future, I think, Rob Edwards. And I hope that this is the right thing. Now, one thing for me when it comes to football managers and football clubs, right? It just needs to be the right timing. It just needs to click, right? You can see that, unfortunately, with freaking Sunderland and Regis Labrie this season, right? Sunderland were in the top spot, you know, with Michael Beale and all the shadows. They go and get this unknown French manager. For some reason, it clicks. And this season was amazing. They're in the Premier League. We just need it to click. And I believe we have got Rob Edwards, Adi Vivesh, and Harry Watling, and it clicks. It might not be what everyone wanted. We all wanted Danny Roll, right? Hell's becoming an MVP. I love you. Thank you so much for the support. We all thought Danny Roll is the right man. Well, he hasn't been appointed. Rob Edwards has. Now we have to say Kieran Scott knows what he's doing. The club knows what they're doing. Rob Edwards is our man. I think it can click. I do. I think it can click. I really do. And with Danny Roll, we don't know. Do you know what I mean? It was a large unknown about Danny Roll. Yes, we've seen what he does at Sheffield Wednesday, but you know what I mean? We don't know like what he's like outside of Sheffield Wednesday. Do you know what I mean? We've seen Rob Edwards at Forest Green. We've seen Rob Edwards at Luton Town. We've seen Rob Edwards, come close to beating Michael Carrick for the job in 2022. Now, he's come back again and applied and gotten the job, right? How many times have you gone for a job and not gotten it, but then said, you know what I mean? You wanted it and you keep going for it. He's come and applied twice and he missed out narrowly the first time. He's gotten it the second time. I think and I hope that it clicks. We just need to now give him, not give him, but Kieran Scott knows. Do you know what I mean? Kieran Scott's not a stupid man. He's a very intelligent man, as is Chris Jones, our head recruitment and scout. Do you know what I mean? Like, they know footballers, right? So all they need to do now is make sure that that we've got the squad that Rob needs to work with, right? Because that's how it's going to be, right? Because he's saying we need to add steel and all that sort of stuff. And I love that comment. I love that, because we're a steel town. Do you know what I mean? The Harbour Bridge just down the road from me. Do you know what I mean? Like, we needed to add steel, and I'm so excited for that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's all I got. I don't know what else to say. I'm I'm excited by this post. I really am. I really think that he is going to be someone we can connect with and someone that we can fall in love with as our manager. I think he's someone that we can go into battle with, and we know that he is the right man leading us. Do you know what I mean? On a cold Tuesday night at Stoke. Just one more time, listen to what he had to say in his very first delivery to the Borough faithful.
Hi guys, Rob here. It's just a message that I want to make sure I get across to you, supporters who are the most important people at this football club. How privileged I am and how proud I am to be representing your club, to be the head coach. And I, along with all the staff and the players, will do everything we can to make you proud. I'm really looking forward to seeing you. Let's get the Riverside rocking this season. Let's get some really exciting football going, and let's have a really good, enjoyable time. Please back the boys. Make sure they're giving absolutely everything for you. Thanks again, and looking forward to seeing you soon.
Please back the boys. I will make sure they are giving absolutely everything for you. That's all we ask. That's all we've ever asked, is that when you step onto that green grass and you're wearing our club crest, whatever that looks like, and our colours, that you give it everything you've got. And if you don't give it everything you've got, guess what? We've been watching football for quite some time, most of us, right? We've been watching Middlesbrough Football Club for quite some time, right? We can kind of tell when you're not really giving it your all right? And we can kind of tell if you suck, Iron Archo. Do you know what I mean? So all we can ask is that whatever group he's got in front of him, is that they step out and they give it their all. Right? Now, you can give it your all and still suck, and we can understand that, right? But when you're just jogging around the pitch and you're not jogging back when you lose the ball in the midfield, and we see you just scooting on back slowly as they sprint up the pitch because they want to get, you know what I mean? That is what we need. That's what we need. We need them to dig in and to give us everything, blood, sweat, and tears every time they step onto the pitch. And I believe Rob, Addy, and Harry can get that out of this playing group. And I think with a few additions, we will have a very, very good mix. All right? I'm very excited. You guys, winner or not winner? I want to know from you. Let's do a final poll for those that are live here. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Is Rob Edwards the right choice? Is going to be the question mark. We won't leave it up for too long, but we just want to ask the quick question to the Borough faithful that are here today, right now, with me live here on the YouTube. I just want to know, is Rob Edwards the right choice for you? Yes or no? Now, a lot of people wanted Danny Rowell, myself included. A lot of people thought Steve Cooper might be the right option. I think Rob Edwards is actually the right option. Now, we believe Steve Cooper said no. He's got a job with the FA. He didn't really want the job. And we believe Danny Rowell's payout figure was going to be a lot. Like a lot, right? Because Sheffield Wednesday, they're not good with money, all right? They're not. We know they're not, right? But it didn't matter about that for me. I don't even think it came to, you know what I mean? I think Rob Edwards became the standout candidate from what I'm hearing as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think he actually, and a lot of people out there are saying he's the cheap option. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think he was the right option at the time. Do you know what I mean? I really do. I believe that they've gotten, out of the candidates that they had to select from, I think he honestly was the right option. I really do. So yeah, that's how it is. That's how I feel. 88% of you agree with me as well, saying yes. The time is now for Rob Edwards. The time is now. If he was to go on and lead Middlesbrough to relegation, or start off on a couple of bad losses. Now, I think we all were quite toxic towards the end of last season, myself included. I know even in if you have a look, they're all on YouTube. The last couple of watch-alongs were just like, they were absolute death to sit down and watch Middlesbrough Football Club play on. Do you know what I mean? Like, we were fighting for a promotion spot. We knew we weren't going to get it. I think deep down, we all knew that it wasn't going to work. It just wasn't going to happen. There was just fight wasn't there, and Michael saying all the wrong things at the press conferences, and he was still calm, and he wasn't pumping anyone up. Do you know what I mean? Like, they were just like, it was like pulling beautiful Rob Edwards' teeth from his beautiful smile. Do you know what I mean? To watch us play football towards the end there. So if we get off to a bad start, fans will turn quickly, because they're you know, like he said, you know, we've been here long before he came. Do you know what I mean? We're coming off the back of a pretty poor season and pretty poor performances. Do you know what I mean? So, but I think he's got the tenacity, and I think he's got the charismatic attitude to be able to win us over. And I think he's already doing that. I think he's already done that. In some of the stuff I've seen today, you can see all he's asking is us to back the boys. And we could do that, right? We can do that. We can back him because he's our manager now. You know what I mean? And so is Addy, and so is Harry. And we can back them. You know what I mean? I think we can. And I hope we can. The next stage for us is players return this Thursday. They've got testing, whether they've been injured or gotten on the drink too much in the holidays, whatever. And then Monday morning, they have a meeting with Rob, and then we go from there. I will be live again very, very soon to be able to discuss as transfers and everything, the season starts heading up. We're also going to do watch-alongs. Got a deal for the friendlies. Okay, we're gonna do watch-alongs for the friendlies. Obviously, we're playing Rangers. We've got a couple of Riverside appearances as well. We're gonna be live for those as well. So if you are a Middlesbrough fan, you know a Middlesbrough fan, your cat dog's sister is a Middlesbrough fan, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Tell me how you're feeling about Rob Edwards. If you were here live with me, you absolute goats. I love you. Thank you for joining me. Hope you had a fantastic Tuesday. Rob Edwards is the new manager, head coach of Middlesbrough Football Club from today, the 25th of the 6th, 24th of the 6th, Australia. And I think we're in for a heck of a season. I really do. How else could I be? I can't be negative, okay? I need to be positive. I need to be excited. And I am. I really am. I really am. We've seen a season like no other. In a season where Newcastle United won a trophy. A season where Sunderland got promoted. Okay? The two other Northeast teams have done largely better than us for the first time in a long time. We have now got a new direction under a new coach, under a new ideology of football to work under, and I'm excited. I'm excited. I think Rob can lead us to great things. I hope Rob believes he can lead us to great things, and I don't think he would be here if he can't. I love you all. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here. Stay safe in this crazy world of ours. Be kind to one another. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Join the Discord if you want to keep up in touch with me. Check out the socials, and I will see you all for the very next video. I love you. Bye from now. Rob Edwards, the new manager of Middlesbrough Football Club. I'm excited, and my, oh my, is he good looking. Wow. Do you know what I mean? Like, some people are just blessed. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't blessed. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't blessed. I mean, I go all right, but not, you know what I mean? I'm not Rob Edwards all right. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And he's born on Christmas Day. So arguably, Rob Edwards is the Messiah sent to us from God. He is Jesus. 2.0 football manager. Rob Edwards, Christmas baby. Christmas is coming early. Christmas in July for the Middlesbrough Football Club. See where I'm going with this? Yes!